Try seeing to it in a rainy day.
Alright, let's see how fast they load. The Army is only as fast as their slowest man.
Yeah, right.
Veteran Army, if their volley sounded like a unified thump, it meant that they were well trained and they knew exactly what they were doing. But for a popcorn effect or a crack, 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 it meant that they were inexperienced, very green troops, and you didn't have a lot to fear on the battlefield.
13 seconds or so.
Can I have a round of applause for a wonderful squad? Okay, two things to kind of notice right off the bat. A lot of smoke was created from just 7 people, and a lot of noise was created as well. So imagine yourself on the battlefield with thousands of those muskets going off, including artillery, so cannons. That smoke is going to become very thick very quickly. And this is actually where we get the term fog of war from, because it would grow so thick that you actually couldn't see 4 or 5 feet in front of you. And that's why different armies of the time period are wearing the uniforms that they are. So the British are wearing bright red coats with white shoot me straight in the chest cross belts and tall shiny black hats for a very specific reason. Because we'd rather be able to see each other on the battlefield than shoot at each other. Because shooting at your own guys isn't a very brilliant military tactic. To give you an example, during the Battle of Lundy's Lane over Niagara Falls, the Glengarry Light Infantry are wearing dark green coats and dark gray pants. And it was a very kind of still day, there was no wind, so the fog of war was very thick during that battle. And they walk out into this fog in front of the British redcoats, and the redcoats behind them can't actually tell what color their coat is. Is it dark green? Is it blue? We don't know. Let's fire and be safe than sorry. So they shoot at their own men and completely eviscerate the Glengarry Light Infantry. So that's how important it was to tell who you were fighting on the battlefield. In addition to that, you can imagine, you could be hiding in a bush, okay, or a tree or something like that for days on end, but as soon as you get one shot off with this weapon, your entire position is compromised. So we wear the uniforms that we do, and we fight in the way that we do, because it's going to be the best trained soldiers at the end of the day that are going to prevail in the battle. Now what the squad is doing behind me is they're actually checking for misfires. So we've had one go out, okay, so they're actually well within their 30% limit, they've done a very good job. And he just got it off there, very simple fix. Now, while they wheel around, I'll talk to you about the secondary weapon of the British soldier, and that was a triangular socketed bayonet. And it fits like this. So it fits atop your weapon, effectively turning your firearm into a nice big long spear. Now the triangular socketed bayonet has 3 sides to it. So when inserted into the human body, it creates a triangular shaped hole. Now this hole can be stitched up on the skin, not too bad. The first 2 sides are easy to do, but that 3rd side actually creates too much pressure on the flesh and on the stitches, and it bursts open almost immediately. And that's just at the topical portion as well. They were not able to sew up internal organs. So if you were stabbed with this weapon kind of in the chest, you're most likely going to die because there was no way to help or stop the bleeding. In addition to that, no one said I had to clean the bayonet before I used it in battle. So these 17 inches of British steel would be covered with rust, blood, mud, or black powder fouling, and if you didn't die from initial stabbing, sepsis was likely to follow. In addition to that, musket balls in this time period worked a little bit differently than bullets do today. You see, bullets today pierce their way through skin, musket balls punch their way through it. So anything the musket ball comes into contact with, it's going to break, it's going to tear, it's going to shatter. So being hit with a musket ball or being stabbed with a bayonet, now you're going down almost immediately. Now when you went down, the British Army had a very simple solution for you. A fife and drummer boy who's going to be approximately 10 to 11 years in age is going to run onto the battlefield and pull you off. And he's going to bring you the closest surgeon available. Now when you get to the surgeon, he's going to take a look at you. You're hit in the chest, then you'd be given your last rites and kind of, squandered away, kind of put away till die. But if you're shot or stabbed in the arm or leg, their solution was amputation. But what happened is that surgeon with his trusty hacksaw is going to slice off that limb in about 10 to 17 strokes. He's going to bandage you up and send you on your way. We're hopefully you're going to live to collect that pension that you were promised when you signed up in the British military for 7 to 21 years. Now on that cheery note, that does conclude our musket demonstration, ladies and gentlemen. The squad behind me will be posing for pictures if you'd like a photo with them. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to come up and ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you liked what you've seen here today and you'd like to actually shoot a musket, you can head to the guardhouse there where you can actually pay to shoot a musket off. I think they fire 2 shots, so that is something that's available. You do have to be 16 years or older to do it, but it is over there if you'd like to try that. If not, then I want to thank you all for being a wonderful audience and have a great rest of the day here.
Thank you.